Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thanks so much for watching. If you are new here, my name is Erica and I live in Houston, Texas with my husband and my dog Rebel. And today I'm going to show you my meal plan for the week. So I have my blank notebook here where I'm going to write down all of the things that we're going to eat for the next upcoming week. And along the way, I'm going to share a few tips and tricks with you guys that I do on a weekly basis. And then sometimes when we have special events or maybe when we're going out of town for the weekend, an extra tip of things that I do all the time is I plan my meals before we leave town and also order my groceries so that I can either pick them up or have them delivered to the house a few hours after we get home from the trip. That way we have time to unwind, unpack everything, maybe take a shower, and then I can get all the groceries in the door, either from picking them up or having them delivered. And that way I'm planned and ready for the next week. We can also clean out the fridge before we leave, so when we come back, we know there's not a lot of extra waste and we're not throwing away a gallon of milk that smells really bad. So that's what I'm gonna be showing you guys today, is what I'm gonna do to plan to go out of town for the weekend, and then also come back to have my meals planned for the next week. I like to do meal planning because it really helps me reduce my stress during the week and also some anxiety about that question of what's for dinner. Okay, I like to know what's for dinner before I'm going into the day. That way I'm extra prepared and I can thaw any meats I need to have out, or get any recipes ready, or maybe even prep something the night before if I have an easier meal and the next day is going to be more difficult. So I'm going to take you guys along and show you what that looks like for me. Okay, so the first thing that I do is I grab the list off the fridge that includes all of the items that I already know that we're gonna need for this upcoming week. I keep a running list on the fridge where I can quickly write down things as they run out, so that I never am out of, seasonings or oils, or even if there's a milk that runs out. We like to keep 2 different milks in the house. So I always keep a list on the fridge. So we're gonna grab that list now, and then I'm going to go into the fridge to see what items I may have left over. Maybe something that we didn't cook from this past week, something that's about to go bad, something that I impulse bought at the grocery store that I thought looked really good, but I didn't really have a plan for it. And I'm going to make a mental note of those items. If there are too many items, I will flip over the list of things that I actually need and write on the back of it the things that I know we have that need to be used up. But most of the time I can just quickly glance in the fridge, spot the few items that we have, and then put them on the meal plan for the next week. Alright, so checking out the fridge this week. It may look like we have a lot, but a lot of it's going to be eaten before we leave, or it's a lot of condiments and things like that up here. So the majority of this is condiments. I do have some blueberries in here. That could be used for breakfast though, so I'm not going to worry about that. I do have some heavy cream, maybe about a half of that container, so about a half a cup. That may be used for something, so I'll keep that in mind because it does go bad when it's in a small carton like that. Down here, I have some taco meat. That's really just enough for like a snack of nachos though, a couple slices of pizza, some hard-boiled eggs, not a big deal with that, snack items, cottage cheese, hummus, Parmesan cheese. I keep this in the fridge all the time, so we're not gonna worry about writing that down. There's some turkey back there, that's okay too. Here I have some dressings, some cold brew coffee, some tea. Those are all gonna go with us this weekend when we go on our trip, so no big deal. Then I have some chicken wings. We're actually make those tonight. Maple syrup, that's always in there. Regular cheese, artichokes, sour cream. This is some queso, smoked queso that I had made, a recipe that I'm testing right now. I do also have a lot of eggs, so we want to make sure that maybe we make a breakfast casserole or keep that in mind for next week in case we want to do something with that. Also, my sister lives with us, so we have an extra carton of eggs. She just buys whatever she wants for herself, so we have that in here. All my chobanis that I got from the Costco haul, I love those so far. I've had like 4 or 5, but there's still a lot left. Okay, I have a bunch of mushrooms in here. These are gonna need to be used next week pretty soon because they're already starting to go bad. So I definitely need to do a mushroom Monday meal for that. So that's gonna go on the list. Then I have some broccoli, and the broccoli is not that old, so it might actually stay good until probably Tuesday of next week. So this is gonna go on Tuesday of next week for certain. A little bit of onion, that's fine, no big deal. And then I have some spinach. Adam mentioned to me earlier, he was like, maybe we should make like spinach dip or something. And I was like, I knew you were gonna say that. So I might make some spinach dip with this next week, or I might incorporate this into the Monday meal. I have an idea about the mushrooms. I have a little bit of salad. I think we're gonna have the salad for dinner tonight though. We're gonna make the wings and then have a buffalo chopped salad with it. And then some zucchini. So this is gonna go into dinner tonight as well. And we might actually be home tomorrow night. I don't think we're gonna be gone tomorrow night for dinner. So we might use the spinach tomorrow night with that. I have to confirm with Adam first. But so far it looks like at least I need to put the mushrooms and the broccoli on next week's list for certain. And then probably this cream if I don't want to waste those dollars that went into that. It's probably like 50 cents worth of cream, maybe 75, but still. That's an expensive item. I don't want to waste that. So there's 3 items basically that I definitely want to make use of this next week. Okay, so now that I've looked in the fridge and I've kind of figured out what's there, that's where I like to start because those are obviously the things that are going to go bad next or first. Then I like to go to the pantry and then to the freezer. We don't use the freezer that's below our refrigerator in the kitchen because my sister actually uses that one for her items. It's just easier on my mind if I separate our stuff. So we have a deep freezer in our mudroom, and that's where my and Adam's stuff are because we have so much stuff. And then we let her use the pull-out drawer freezer for her other items so that when I am doing a meal prep like this, I don't have to go, oh, is that mine or is that hers? She wouldn't care if I use something that's hers, but I always like to use my stuff and then let her have her own stuff in case she was planning on doing something special with that as well. So we're gonna go into the pantry here and check out and see what we have. The top shelf, we keep a lot of these like snack items. So that's really just like crackers and chips and like dried fruits and nuts and things like that. And then down here is where we keep most of the other important items. So like this is gonna be more of the pastas. Like this is the pasta I got at Trader Joe's the other day. And then grains, things like that, extra sauces and spices, you know, canned items as well. So I'm just quickly gonna look through these items and see if there's anything that I wanna add to my list of something that might go with the mushroom and broccoli that I'd already pulled out. Obviously, a lot of things will go with that, so I'm just going to look at these quickly and see and take a mental inventory of what I maybe could incorporate into a meal next week that I don't have to buy. Oh, there is a lot of stuff in here. So I just quickly see that I have some rotel, some pasta, some orzo down here, some other pasta. I always keep rigatoni here. I like that a lot. Some open pasta that probably needs to be used up first. I mean, it's already dried, so it doesn't really matter that it's open, but I want to get that package gone so it doesn't actually accidentally spill. I have some barbecue sauces. I have some enchilada sauce. Maybe enchiladas are on the menu for next week. That's a good idea. Some panko breadcrumbs. I try to look at anything that's kind of open or like just see like, oh, what's an idea here? So some diced green chilies. That could possibly go for the enchiladas as well. And then down here, let's see what I have. And part of this stuff is my sister's, like I said, because we just kind of share these spaces. So like these are her noodles that she likes to get. She likes to make little stir fry things. So I have some pesto. That's a good idea. Oh, I do have this sauce. I forgot about this sauce. And this is why I do this, because I bought this sauce at H-E-B, just the sauce. I have no clue how to say that, but it's cream, pepperoni cheese, and black pepper sauce. It looks really good, so I might try this. I don't normally like sauces in the jar like this, but I still can't quit trying them. So I always still like to try them and see if they're any good. So yeah, I'm gonna try this one and see. And then I have, okay, just some relish, capers. All right, so far I'm thinking that it might be maybe enchiladas next week and maybe something to do with that sauce. Okay, so we're in the mudroom now. I don't know if you can tell. It's kind of gloomy in here. I don't have any decorations really, except for this one at the very top. I don't know if you can see it. It says, relax, you're home. I like to have that back there to remind my husband that when he comes home, there's no worries. We're done worrying for the day. So I'm gonna open the deep freezer here, pull some things out, see what I have, and add it to the menu. I went ahead and grabbed my little like grocery list I talked about earlier flipped it over on the back of it and just started writing the things that I saw in the kitchen, in the refrigerator, and in the pantry that I might want to use for next week. But here's where the fun comes. So the freezer is stocked full. We have tons of stuff. We get a ButcherBox subscription, and then also I just can't resist a deal. So I have bought so many hot dogs in the past week because they were on sale. It was a great deal. They were a good brand. And I just can't wait to have a good cookout soon, but it's not happening yet because of this pandemic. So they're gonna stay in here until then, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull out some items from the freezer, see what I can find, and figure out what's gonna work best for next week's meal plan. I love to use stuff from the freezer. I do know right away that I'm gonna need to buy some fish. I like to have fish at least once a week. I also do not like to repeat my actual meats back to back or at all during the week if possible. So if I do a fish one week, then we're gonna do poultry or beef the next week, or the next day. So that's what I like to do. So we'll see what we can find.
All right, so like I said, my freezer stays pretty stocked full of stuff. I have these Nolan Ryan beef hot dogs I bought at Kroger the other day. I had like 8 packages of them. They had like 50 packages, so I did not feel bad about grabbing 8 of them. Then I found some asparagus. I'm going to write that down on my list because I definitely think I'm going to use that. Big old thing of broccoli that I got from Costco. I love to buy the broccoli like that. And then now I'm just kind of digging down to the bottom to see what other items maybe are new that I've added recently that I didn't remember about, and moving some things around to figure out exactly what's in the freezer. I have these like 3 stackable bins inside of there that I keep bone broth or bone broth items in, then some cauliflower rice, and then I like to keep meats on the other one, like some sausages and things like that. So I'm just going to pull one of those out and then see what's at the bottom and below that to just make sure that I know everything that's in the freezer. And then once I have a good idea of the things and they're fresh on my mind, I'm going to start putting everything back into the freezer just as however they fit, and then putting everything back and getting ready to go ahead and sit down and review what I've just found. I'm going to grab that cod though because I want to put that in the fridge to thaw for dinner tonight.
Okay, so for the most part, I had those items all in there inventoried from the last time I took stock of the freezer. So most of them are already listed on this list. However, I did go to Costco and Trader Joe's since I've done this. So I found a couple whole chicken, some chicken thighs, some pork chops that I got in my ButcherBox. I found lots of Kerrygold butter that I got from Costco, so that's just kind of there. Doesn't really help me much. I also found, I had this pork shoulder roast that I got from ButcherBox. Not really sure what I'm gonna do with that yet. I would like to keep it as whole as possible because I already have carnitas style meat from pork shoulder already cut up in there. So I'm gonna kind of brainstorm on that. And also so far I basically just listed pork and chicken. So it sounds like I'm gonna need to buy at least some fish this week and possibly some other type of poultry, like maybe a turkey, or maybe like a ground pork or beef, or a ground beef. I like to make meatballs a lot. That might be good to go along with the pasta. So I'm gonna brainstorm on that for a little bit, sit here with my grocery list of things I already need, my idea list from things I went around the kitchen and found, and then also this freezer inventory list, keeping in mind what I just saw from my quick little search through there of things that we might have. I'm not gonna be cooking the hot dogs this week. I'm waiting for a party for that. But they're just gonna stay there until we have maybe a football party this fall, hopefully, if that happens. I don't know how that's working out. So yeah, I'm gonna hop to it and start brainstorming. This is probably my favorite time of meal planning because this is when I actually get to pick out what I want to eat. Like, that's the best part about meal planning, is you don't have to meal plan stuff you don't want to eat. You just write down what you want to eat and make sure you add a vegetable. This is also when I get input from my husband to ask him, hey, do you have any ideas of what you want to eat next week? I also consult the schedule. Right now, there's not a lot on the schedule, so it doesn't seem like I have to like plan around certain items. A lot of the times I'll have, you know, volunteer activities, or Adam will be gone for something that he has to do for work, like maybe a happy hour or something that evening, or I'll have one of the women's club meetings in the neighborhood, or like maybe we'll be going to dinner for a friend's house, or somebody invited us out for a special activity. I always write those in my meal plan because that's part of the plan. The plan is we're not going to cook that day, so I don't have to write anything down. So I'm going to go ahead and start going on that and writing those things down that we maybe have planned for next week. Go ask my husband what he wants to eat for next week, and then also brainstorm some ideas where he can take over fully for some meals. I like to give him like 2 meals a week where it's just like all him, and I'll help if he needs help. He doesn't do a lot of the cooking in the house, but he does all the grilling. So I like to throw in a couple grilled items so it gives me a little bit of a break and he can take over for that day. And he really enjoys doing the grilling. So that's a plus for me. I enjoy the cooking, he enjoys the grilling. So I throw a couple of those items on there so that I'm not in the kitchen every single night. So here we go. All right, so I have the list basically done. We're gonna do all of these things. So first I'm starting with the enchilada stuffed mushrooms, the roasted broccoli. So this kind of knocks out most of the things that I had on that list. I have a recipe for enchilada stuffed mushrooms, but the last time we made them, we felt there was something missing. So I'm gonna try to do that a little bit better this time. Roasted broccoli, that comes from the fridge. Herb salmon with asparagus and that pasta with that sauce. So this is out of the pantry. Salmon I'm gonna buy, and I have a little dot next to it because I am working on some recipes for my new website that I'm putting out that will actually have the actual recipes of these things that I do on there. So I put that dot there because I want to take photos of this as I make it, so that I can record that process and then post it up there for you guys to repeat. Then we're also going to be doing some asparagus with that. That'll be from the freezer that I found. I went upstairs and asked Adam what he wanted, and he said, lasagna? So I said, okay, why not? So we're gonna do lasagna, and then with that, I'm just gonna do like a chopped Caesar salad or a bagged Caesar salad, something like that, to make it an easy side to go with a complicated dinner. I put the lasagna on Wednesday because we've been working out 4 times a week, and our workouts are on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So Wednesday's the off day that I would have a little bit more time to actually make that, and he said he would help, so we'll see how that goes. Thursday, we're gonna do pork chops. Those are in the freezer, so I don't have to buy those. And Adam's gonna just grill those, and he will pick out a seasoning for whatever he wants of that. And then I'll do ultimate green beans, which is a recipe that I do. So I have a little dot next to it because I wanna make sure that I have time to take photos as I make it that night. So this is another, trying to time those out so I can get that recipe out for you guys. And then roasted potatoes with peppers, that's a little skillet item that I got from Trader Joe's, so that's a super easy thing to add into there. Friday, I figured we'd probably have leftovers, probably some lasagna, so we'll do leftovers on Friday, no big deal. That's a great time for us to kind of clean out the fridge going into the weekend. And then on the weekend, for Saturday, we're gonna do crispy skinned oven roasted chicken. That's a recipe that I do, and I bought a new rack this time, so I wanna try it out on the rack to see if it makes it even better, and document that process, take photos, write everything down thoroughly so that I can help you guys recreate that on my website. And then with red potatoes, so I'm gonna buy some of those. I just really love like turkey or chicken with gravy and potatoes. It just feels like such a comfort food to me. So I'm gonna get some red potatoes, and I think I have a packet of gravy, but I'm gonna check on that. And then it says and blank. I leave it blank because I like to check HEB's website and see if they have any vegetables that are on in season or on sale or on special or anything like that that I can put there. So if not, I do have some obviously green beans and broccoli in the freezer, but I've already used those, once this week, so I kind of like to keep it fresh and mixed up. So here I might put something like a I want to do like a greener vegetable, so maybe like some Swiss chard or kale or some zucchini would be good there as well. So something like that to fill in this hole that I'll get fresh from the grocery store. And then Sunday, we're gonna do Philly cheesesteaks. This will be kind of a surprise for Adam because he doesn't know that, and that's like one of his favorite meals. And I have a dot next to it also because I want to start filming this process and taking photos and things like that. This is definitely not one that'll be completely done on Sunday, whereas like these other 3 recipes are like tried and true recipes that I made up and use them all the time. So this is just gonna be taking the photos. This is gonna be the preliminary stages of figuring out how to perfect the perfect Philly cheesesteak, one that my husband will approve of since he loves that. So that'll be a good Sunday activity because it'll give me more time to kind of plan out the meal and have a little bit more fun with it. So now what I'm gonna do is check this list, see what I need that I don't have already, and then add it to my grocery list here. And then I will cross-reference and then get online and order the groceries. And one thing I like to say is like, I don't look at this as like, this is the Bible, this is the truth. This is up for interpretation. So say if we get home on Sunday and that broccoli has gone bad and I don't have anything else coming, I will probably use something that's out of the freezer. So that's kind of how I work this. And also if I have something on here, like if this lasagna with salad, well, if there happens to be a really good deal on another vegetable or something that looks really good that I'm like, that looks like a better deal, I will just scratch it out and write in the other item. There's no worries in changing your meal plan once it's on the refrigerator. And I always like to leave a buffer day for leftovers. And we always have stuff in the house that we can eat. So we could grab a little bit of a frozen meal or that turkey that was in the fridge. We could use that to make wraps or salads or something. So even if we don't have leftovers, maybe we've eaten them all for lunch now that we're working from home during the pandemic. If we don't have leftovers, then I just may make a sandwich or, which we don't normally have sandwich bread in the house, but like a wrap would be good. I do have some sandwich bread in the freezer that we could use, or we could just order a pizza. Like this is just a blank day for us to have like a buffer. And then also sometimes what will happen during the week is that one of these meals will get pushed. So say maybe on Wednesday, I'm just incredibly tired and I just cannot fathom making lasagna. Well, then lasagna will go to Thursday, and then Thursday's meal goes to Friday, and so forth and so on. And so then that leaves us some room on Friday to have that buffer meal to where all of the stuff doesn't end up going to waste. But then also if I get to Sunday and I haven't made the oven roasted chicken yet, well then I'll do the oven roasted chicken on Sunday and then push these Philly cheesesteaks to the next week. So I have a friend who always asks me like, well, like what do you do if like you just really don't like want to eat what's on the menu? I'm like, well, you just don't do it. You make something else. You can pick from another day. You can push it to the next day and get takeout or go to a Mexican restaurant or whatever you want to do. So it's always up to you what you do.
So now I'm going to start looking over the recipes that I pulled out for this week. I do have that one for the enchilada stuffed mushrooms there. And then I'm just checking through the cookbook. My best friend actually put together this cookbook for me. And I'm looking for any other recipes that might be on my list that I could use and just seeing if they're in there. And making faces at the other ones. So after I get all the recipes out that I want to use, I'm going to start ordering my groceries through the HEB.com website. I think they have an app, but I don't ever use that. I just go straight to the HEB website. And today my internet was actually being like really, really slow. So my things were not loading as fast as normal. I know that Adam was upstairs playing Xbox while I was doing this. It was a Saturday afternoon, so that's what he likes to do to relax. And so when he does that, though, it seems like my internet just gets lost. So now I'm just going through my list and basically adding the things that I need for the week. So I'm adding some Lara bars here because Adam really likes to have those for breakfast. And I see there's a coupon, so I'm like checking the deal to make sure that I got the best deal. And then I'm adding the one that he wants for the 10-pack container of the Lara bars. And then I'm just going to go through my list and add all the other things that I need. So I think I mentioned this before. I only like the Hill Country Fair onion powder. Other onion powders to me taste terrible. So I don't buy them anywhere except for HEB, and they don't always have it at HEB. So I have to make sure that when they do have it, I snag it up. I got a big jar this time to make sure that I wouldn't run into that predicament again. Now I'm getting the mushrooms for the next week, and then I'm going to also get vinegar. I was hoping to find some vinegar that was in a smaller container as well as a big container. I've started to wash some of my produce more thoroughly and use vinegar and kind of soak some of them with it. So I was looking for kind of like a small glass jar or jug that I could keep underneath the cabinet, and then the bigger one that I keep in the laundry room so I wouldn't have to worry about running to the laundry room every time that I wanted to wash vegetables. So for now, that is still on hold because they did not have that at the HEB website. So I looked again to find white vinegar because it kept popping up other things, and then they didn't have anything else. So I moved on. I'm going to get the red potatoes, like I said, and I always check the price on this. So there's a 5-pound bag and a 2-pound bag, and I always just check to make sure that I'm getting the best price on those and going through that. Green bell peppers, those are going to be for the Philly cheesesteaks. I added a couple of those. Some green onions. This is going to be for the stuffed enchilada mushrooms. And then I saw that they had the dip right there. So I went ahead and snagged that. That's the dill dip that I love, and then the onion dip. So if I'm on this website and I see something, I just go to it and click it. And then I just keep looking down at the list that I have in front of me and scratching off exactly what I got. So then I don't know if I was talking to Adam there or something, but now I'm gonna order some more poultry seasoning. I need that. I use that for my crispy oven roasted chicken. And I always like to get that Spice Hunters variety. I think it's the best. And then I'm going to get some marinara sauce. So normally I would make my own marinara sauce if I was doing this on the weekend or if I was doing my own pasta. But I just cannot fathom making a whole lasagna and then also making my own marinara sauce with it. So I am looking for the one that I always get. It's Muir Glen. And I was just checking to make sure there's no other varieties. So I got the Italian herb one. I went ahead and just grabbed 2 jars. I know that I have a partial jar in the fridge, so I probably won't end up using the whole thing. But that was important for me to make sure that I have a backup for the next time that I will need it. And then I'm going to look at the weekly ad here and check for fruits and vegetables. So here they always pop up some items that they have on sale. And I just wanted to look real quick to see if they had any berries or any other items that I might be tempted by. Probably those cherries right there. That's a good deal. So I always check to see what fruits and vegetables are on sale. This is where I would fill in that and blank spot on the meal plan. So if there was something there that looked appealing, I would have added it, but there wasn't. So I just went and got some zucchini and added that, and that will go in with the roasted chicken. So I will write that down on my meal plan to go alongside that. So now I'm just checking the boxes and getting everything else, looking for some salmon. I want to make sure I get the best deal on that one. So I always compare the prices and look and see what I should select based on the prices. I really like Atlantic salmon. I have really tried sockeye, but it has never worked out for me with the flavor. I cannot get it exactly the same. And then here I'm just checking the price of the club pack compared to the other one. So lots of different tactics going on here. The website doesn't always have the exact comparison, whether it's pounds or ounces. So you have to be smarter than the website. And then I'm going to snag some coffee, of course.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you following along and learning what I'm put on my meal plan this week. I went ahead and ordered my groceries and set them up to be delivered on Sunday night after we get back from our trip. I thought it would be easier, even though it is a little bit more expensive to have them delivered. I thought it'd be easier, maybe we'd feel more relaxed to just have someone bring them to us. I will be filming a grocery haul of all those items when they do get here. And if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, you should go over there and follow me. It's erica.a.lloyd. I'll put that on the screen here for you guys as well. And that's where I do a lot of my live cooking demos. So if you ever want to see what I'm cooking in the kitchen or follow along with me, that's where I'll be in the evening showing you guys that we're cooking. And feel free to send me a message, ask me questions about what I'm making. And I look forward to seeing you guys on my next video. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Psych, I'm back. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have more of you follow along. I know that a lot of you watching this video are not subscribed right now, so it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe so you can stick around and see more content like